really ancient, obscure catastrophe, like a very, very long time ago, and cursed weapons. And All-Hydra was one of the names mentioned, but you can't think where you've heard it. It's some really obscure piece of history.
Hmm. Yeah, because I've did really well on a history check like a couple of days ago and have thought about elemental evil before. So great.
Uh,
I'm just looking really uncomfortable now. Fantastic.
um, the Water Genasi says, "Oh yes, All-Hydra is very mighty and has bestowed upon me great power. It was truly wonderful to feel the blessings of the ocean from a being that understands what it is to be one with water. You see, I am a water genasi. I am tied to the element of water by my birth, and I never felt that I belonged to society. But then the the crushing wave came and showed me what power it could I could draw from this elemental connection. Um, and he starts using his magical abilities again to shape the water around the boat into sort of twisting, like tunnels and spirals and like almost like fireworks made of water, creating like little rainbows in the air as the sunlight passes through it. Um, it's impressive, but it's just your standard magic tricks. Then he starts sort of freezing it midair, so you get like these little ice crystals floating off and like little localized snowstorms and things. It's really just parlor tricks, and you've seen this kind of thing before. But you know, he's given you wine, so
It's all very pretty.
yes, that it is, but not as beautiful as you, Lady Elf.
Um,
Now,
moving swiftly on.
Sorry, wine went down the wrong part. It's fine.
Are you
The
all right?
spirit's incredibly flustered.
Now, how would you like to help out the crushing wave against some truly awful blackguards? You see, we have something of a disagreement with with a certain druidic circle that worships fire. I know how dull fire. It simply burns out. Water is eternal. Now, the cult of the eternal flame has corrupted druids to worshipping their ways, and well, if some people were to say infiltrate that druidic circle, bring to an end their strange sacrificing of people with fire and rituals out there in the woods, well, you would be doing the area a favor. No more villagers being burned alive, and you would be doing us a favor too, because, yes, well, we don't enjoy their company. I can offer, you would of course be given full membership of the Crushing Wave, and perhaps I would have some rewards in it for you as well.
Sounds like a good incentive, I suppose. What does everyone else think?
Well, it'll certainly lead us closer to bits of information that we need.
And I can't speak for the rest of me crew, but the rewards I need are very few. At some point, I'll want a boat and a word with Mr. Shatterkeel.
Oh yes, if you became members of the Crushing Wave, we would certainly arrange for you to meet with our glorious leader.
I'm sure that would be quite illuminating.
And a boat, yes. Would you like to become Crushing Wave Raiders? You would be given a boat and free reign of this river and the Sword Coast. You could, we would take a mere pittance share of whatever treasures you looted, and the rest you could keep to live like kings and queens. Yes, Morgana is. Morgana, yes, that is the cult. The druidic cult he's talking about is the one you've heard about, the one that you've been on the trail of.
Okay.
Nice. Out of everyone, Gunnar looks inherently uncomfortable with this, but he kind of steadies himself because he knows that this is totally just a facade, right? Right?
Whisper kind of leans over and just pats him on the shoulder.
Oops.
Yeah,
all
Ren also
cultists.
looks. Yeah, Ren looks deeply uncomfortable.
Whisper makes a mental note to give her a hug later.
Can I try and quietly climb on the back of the boat now that everyone's conveniently up at one end?
Okay. Yeah, that would be either. Let's see. Climbing is half your movement speed, and it doesn't generally. So that's a stealth check to try to carefully pull yourself out the water.
Okay. Let's pray.
Okay.
Ooh,
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
Smile upon you this
Someone
day.
loves me.
Yeah, you quietly pull yourself out of the water, being used to climbing in and out of the water as a genasi, and having lived all your life in the sea, you know exactly how to sort of gently ease yourself out, and you kind of just pull yourself onto the deck. So now you're crouched behind the cabin.
Awesome. Can I get onto the cabin roof?
Yeah, okay. You're on the roof of the cabin.
I love
Awesome.
everything about this.
Sat on the boat, drinking wine. In fact, how many glasses of wine has everyone had at this point? I'm going to have the Water Genasi roll a Constitution's check to see how drunk he's getting. Oh, wow, he's getting drunk at this point. So,
Yes.
by this point, while Morgana has been climbing up and this guy's been talking on and on about cults and all Hydra and all this, he's sort of like, yeah, so you should definitely become, you should be raiders for us. It'd be great. You'd be really good at it.
Gunnar's been nursing the one glass he has because he hasn't really been comfortable enough to drink more.
Yeah, no, same.
Oh no, I've got a bad idea.
Do it.
Do it.
Kill him.
Oh,
That might not have been the idea.
that's my bad idea. That's my bad idea.
To kill him?
I don't like him. I don't like him.
Amazing.
You do you. You do you.
I will not
I don't
stop
like
you.
He's getting my friends drunk. He's ostentatious and gross. He's made my boyfriend uncomfortable. He's awful. I hate him. I hate him so much.
Well, if you wish.
He sort of calls over to his servant, "Hey there, Pike, get us some more wine." And sort of the thug looks to him. I think you've had enough. I think you've had enough wine, sir. Don't you tell me how much wine I should have. I want more wine. I want more wine on this ship. Wine's mostly water, and we're all mostly water, so everything's water, really, and water's good for you, so I'm gonna have more wine.
The more you study, the more you know. The more you know, the more you forget.
Poison glass of
Would
wine's mostly water
anyone
as
object
well.
terribly if I threw myself off the side of this boat?
What? What?
Whisper could just kind of murmurs, would anybody object terribly if I just threw myself off the side of this boat?
The Genasi doesn't hear you because he's arguing with his underling about whether or not he can have more wine.
I'd argue at least a little bit.
The thug goes, no, listen, sir. I think you've had enough, and I think you should go for a swim. Just cool your head a bit. And so the Genasi goes, fine, I'll go swim over to the kitchens, and they'll get me more wine. There's all those commoners we got from the town and from the trade guys. Yeah, they work for us. They've got wine, and he jumps into the water and starts swimming over and lumbering sort of in a zigzag around up towards the steps. He'd sort of gulped down a few glasses of wine. The phrase "drinks like a fish" comes to mind. So he's kind of zigzagging his way over towards, and the thug sort of looks at you lot and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry about him. He's pissed as a newt, isn't he? You know what you should do? You should just sneak out the castle while he's gone. Just go. He gets really arsey when he starts getting drunk like this. You'd be best either swimming out the way you came, or just tell the gate guards I sent you. Tell them Pike sent you and said you could get out."
One question for
That
you,
sounds
Pike
like the
mate.
best idea.
Yeah.
Is Shatterkeel here?
Oh no. He's in the main base. I'm not high enough ranking to know where that is, but I'm hoping to one day get to meet him. I hear he's got like a massive claw, and he rides around on a sea monster, and he's got like this magic trident. Oh, and he can summon storms. It's so cool. I've heard if you get high enough rank, you get to meet him, and that there's like a secret entrance to the place, like somewhere nearby, but I don't know where it is, and I don't look for it because, they're probably a bit scary. The higher ups, they can I don't know, they could probably do all sorts of things. You won't believe what that guy can do when he's sober.
Fair enough. Well, look out for yourself, mate.
Aye, you lot too, and you beat up those the stupid fire druids, because I hate the stupid fire druids. They're always yelling and screaming and dancing and so loud.
Where exactly are they? In case we decide to go druid thumping.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you. I'll mark it on the map for you.
Thank you.
Let me just find where it is on my map. It's not too far away actually. It is in the Desserin Hills, and it's I can't find the right map now. Exploring the valley. That's here it is. Okay, so goes it's at this place called Scarlet Moon Hall. It's you go back over towards Red Larch. In fact, if you go almost nearly perfect line westward from here towards, if you go just in a straight line from here towards Red Larch, you'll bump right into it before you even get anywhere near Red Larch. It's not that far away.
Good to know. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. I'll make sure that he's sober when he gives you a reward. But
Yeah, please do.
can you put in a good word for me? So that Pike helped you out.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll totally do that.
Excellent. Now you better get a move on. He's probably having a argument with those poor people in the kitchens. Oh, poor sods. They were kidnapped from some trade caravan or something. But,
Yeah, I heard that. I
Yeah,
heard. How long have they been here? Do you know?
a few days, maybe a 10-day or so. Been put them to work in the kitchens. You know, they work hard, but they're not like tortured or anything. They've just been making food, bringing wine, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, very reasonable, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's all right. You know, could be worse.
For sure.
I will say, and Gunnar just kind of looks left and right. We did lose a bit of our supplies on the river down. So I don't think it would be too bad if we stopped by to perhaps provision a little bit.
Oh yeah. Tell him you were sent by Shola. That's what his name is, by the way. He didn't even introduce himself. Typical. Yeah. So tell him that Shola's sending you out on a mission, and they'll make sure you're amply stocked. You want to go up the route he just went, and go into the building. Oh, and when you get into the main hall, tell Mr. Grumpy that Shola sent you to get provisions, because he'll be asking, the big hairy bloke.
Does he have a name, or is Mr. Grumpy what he chooses to go by?
Yeah, don't say that I called him Mr. Grumpy, because
That's just between us. That's fine.
That's what we all call him behind his back.
Very smart, very clever nickname.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're smart to the crushing wave. We're not like those lot in the fire cult.
Clearly, it's really quite inspiring.
Yeah.
Just Ren is straining herself, isn't she?
Yeah, he's called Grimjaw. Jolliver Grimjaw. He's a right hard ass.
I'll bear that in mind.
Well then, ta, and Hauser jumps off and he's gone. He's going. He's going for it.
Boy.
Gunnar stubbornly walks.
Okay. Yeah. So he the way that you saw you saw Sholago was up between these two buildings over here to the sort of. So there are two buildings here. As you wander through, you notice that there are people. There are guards posted on the wall. You're walking past. There are some windows here that look into some kind of a dark-looking. Looks like a chapel. You could probably see inside if you peeked through, but it depends if you want to or if you just want to carry on your way towards this big main hall building with big double doors.
If that's where Shola went, then
That's where Shola went, through these big doors.
okay.
Okay,
I'll have that.
alright. Okay, so that is Grimjaw. There he is.
Is it? I'm just picturing this poor guy saying bye to people as they jump off a boat and walk off the boat, and then he kind of does like this weird double take. 'Cause he's like, "Was there two blue-skinned weirdos? What is this?" As Morgana just saunters off.
Yeah, he sort of he looks at Morgana for a second and sort of let me roll a perception check to see if he even actually notices you. Did you notice Morgana jump off the boat? Hang on, where's the dice? There's one. No, he didn't. He didn't notice. He was looking away, like sighing and tidying up the wine. And he didn't see somebody else. He hears a splosh, like, into the water, but it's not in time to notice. He sort of just kind of shrugs.
Nice.
Lovely.
Honestly, if
Also-
Mike hadn't been there, I probably would have just stolen the boat. I didn't want to inconvenience that guy any further.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of got a hard one going on. A hard day, I mean.
Okay.
Poor guy.
Gunner's gonna peek in the window as he passes by. Also,
All right, you can see into a gloomy looking chapel here, and inside is some kind of they look like some kind of priest or cleric doing some kind of a strange water ritual in front of an altar that has like a bowl of water on it and an old dagger and the symbol of the water cult. And there are two rough-looking ladies in nautical attire kind of lounging around. They have like weird swords that look like they're made of bone or tooth or something, and shields of the same kind of nature. Like look like made of the shell of some kind of large creature.
those are definitely turtle shields and shark tooth swords, aren't they?
Looks that way.
Not that Gunner knows, but
They lashed two sea turtles together and made a raft.
Oh, God. Here comes the pirate joke.
fuck. Into the building we go.
Alright, you can see that the guards on the walls do sort of notice you, but they don't really pay much attention because you're walking around like you were meant to be there, so... And they just saw Shola walk past this way, so they just go, oh, okay. But they keep an eye on you. They sort of watch you casually as you approach the large double doors to the main hall. Okay, who's going in?
I am.
Okay.
Hi.
Ren, you open the large double doors to reveal a very large dining hall. It's you can see that there's a large sort of table with benches set up in the middle of the room, and there are some guards in that kind of nautical gear around here, and some kind of a robed woman. At the desk at the end of the room sits a sort of stout and muscular looking man with like he's got a lot of thick wiry body hair, and his hair sticks up in a like thick wiry mohawk, and he's kind of an ugly looking bloke with beady little eyes and thick bristly eyebrows, and he sort of, when the doors open, like he looks up and goes, "What are you doing here? Who are you?"
We're kind of been recruited by your guy Shola. Said about getting some supplies from the kitchen before we went off to take care of this druid problem.
All right, enough. Fine, go on then. Shola's, he's drunk again.
Yeah, noticed that. Which way are we going?
Shola wanders out of the presumably kitchen here and goes, just say my name. Look at this barrel, this glorious keg of life-giving water. They told me to drink the water because it's better than mine, because it's water. And the guy at the desk just goes, "Go on, Shola, back to your boat with you." "No, I've got to. The guests should have this water with me. What are you doing here?"
Well, we're going to go on that druidic mission you talked about.
"Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah,
We just talked about it.
yeah, Grimjaw. These fine folk are going to investigate the fire cult, the druids, for us." And Grimjaw also goes, "Oh, alright then. Fine. You there. Let's go them to the kitchens. This fellow can sit and drink his water. Ugh. You there. Come with me to the kitchens.
Sure.
Don't be dawdling."
Hey, we'll lead the way.
Hef is actually going to stay back. He has some business to attend to.
Oh.
Business.
I'm
Yes,
currently
he's actually.
outside.
Yes.
Door.
Don't worry. He's going to stand on the other side of the desk and say, "So."
Comes up here.
He's going to be over here.
Sorry, it's this room.
Yeah.
Is Morgana staying outside?
I am currently perched outside, just kind of like listening in at the door.
Okay, in that case, Whisper's going to stay out there with her.
All right.
Company.
You can see that the guard on the wall is just sort of watching you very carefully.
Yes.
All right. And meanwhile, the lady with the nautical gear leads you into the kitchen. All right, there. What supplies be you needing? How long do you think you'll be away?
Conservative estimates? A week?
All right. You heard the lady. Get her 10 days worth of supplies. And the commoners, look like just ordinary humans, start getting together some supplies, and where are the rest of you anyway? And well, it's that they're off shift. They're having a sleep. Lazy bones. So she the lady sort of hurries them around to collect supplies, which they get together for you quite quickly, and sort of tie them up in a cloth bag and hand it. Here you go. She hands you the cloth bag. Roll a perception check. Ren.
Oh, wait, I'm not great at that. I was going to write a note while the woman was... Oh, that's not too bad anyway. Okay.
You hear the bag rustle slightly as if there's like a loose piece of paper in there. And the lady who handed it gives you just a little bit of a nod and a meaningful look.
Cool. As I take the bag from her, I sort of give her hands a little squeeze and like give her a nod back. Just like, yeah, we know. I just say, hopefully the mission will go well and we'll be back soon.
Aye, yeah. Well, you'll find our rations are excellent. We've got all sorts of fresh fish in there, salted fish. Eat the fresh first, so it doesn't go off. But we've got best kippers in the region, I'd say.
I look forward to it.
All right, then, off with you. Get out. So, Hephaestus, what are you doing while they're in the kitchen?
Well, Hef is going to walk up and he's going to look. He's staring at the man, and he hasn't told anyone about this before. But the whole reason he came out here was because I think he said it before that the whole reason he came out here was because someone had raided his smithy and stolen from them. And the name left behind was Grimjaw.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh,
wait, I should have known that.
Yeah, so he's going to look at the man. He's just going to. He has his sword at his hilt. He's not going to pull it out yet, but he's going to look at the man and say, "Grimjaw, I assume."
Yeah, that's me.
You might have ever been to a place outside where might be you in the market for swords and all that, right? You've been to a lot of smithies, I assume.
Yeah, that's where I got this beauty. Dunk! On the table, he just plonks the huge maul that he carries. He goes, yeah, love me a good smithy.
Yeah.
Cost I always overcharge.
I like to assume they charge plenty for the hard work they put into their goods. And then he just like leans his hands on the table.
So by this point, Ren has sort of vaguely remembered the name Grimjaw and was like, oh shit face, because she and Hef had this conversation over coffee And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, and sort of clank, 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 clank back into the main hall.
Buzzer has meanwhile had an equally terrible idea.